Hey guys, this is Dio, aka Nerdacious, aka Perfecticable, aka Eulogius, etc. etc. And I wanted to make this video. At first, I wanted to make this video commentating on the fight, what happened, our strategies and everything. But then I realized, let me just. I think what's gonna help most the game is me to give up my opinion. I could write it down, but then I figure the developers, they're gonna be reading a lot of opinions. I might as well just throw it out at them. I might as well just throw it at them in an audio form so that they can listen to it while they're reading other opinions. I wanted to start off by saying that I like the arenas. I like the concept. The 4v4 pretty well. I was hoping for this since freaking beta. I was hoping for 4v4 arenas since beta. I love the fact that you can throw a tank in here and and he'll be viable, as it's shown to be on a lot of the compositions. There's a lot of good compositions going on, although you can get to you do have there's a lot of different compositions going on, although you do see some classes standing out apart from the other classes. So, but at the same time, that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially when you consider what I'm gonna say next. The maps. When we talk about the maps, these maps are the exact opposite of what I would have liked in an arena map. These maps have LOS, they have altitude, they have dirt on the ground, they have doors, they have stairs, they have bridges, they have crosswalks, they have freaking fountains. So many things in the map that I would have not added. My plan of a map was just make it flat with things to LOS, etc. But in a sense, these maps work perfectly, and I think it's gonna help the developers to balance the classes a lot faster, because of the way that the maps are done. You can literally take out of the fight a person, a class, for a long time. You can mess them and you can push them away, then they have to come back, and that helps because, in a sense, if you think about it, the class that we're pushing away would be the strongest DPS. So that means they would have 1 DPS left in the fight, but then we would be doing exactly the same thing. If it wasn't a strong DPS, we would just be CCing a DPS, except that now we know which DPS to CC or which DPS to control. So in a sense, because of that, personally, I haven't seen that many overpowered compositions, because if you play smart, then you can get rid of the most powerful of their players. Not indefinitely, because it shouldn't be indefinitely, but you can definitely control more of the fight because of the way the maps are being set up. Now, if you're not smart, if you're not good enough, or maybe if the other team is better, then they will control the fight and you will be on the losing end. But if you think about it, they deserve it because they're playing smarter. So, there's nothing you can do against that. Anyways, with that said about the maps, I would like for BioWare to add arena frames. Please, you have to add arena frames. You cannot. This is just not working out. First, for 2 reasons. The first one, because your tab targeting system, it's bad. I'm sorry, it's just a bad targeting system. Everybody knows that. That's not a secret. It's just bad. It's a bad targeting system. So instead, the way that you can you're not gonna fix this because this has been going on for a couple of years now. But what you could do instead is just give us the arena frames, so that instead of having to tab over each one of the enemies, we can just click them and it's gonna be easier for us. I'm not asking you to add macros. I know you don't want to, so don't do that. Don't give us macros, but give us arena frames. They could come very, very useful, and I'm sure that a lot of people are gonna like that addition to the arenas, to the mechanics of the arena games. Um, the deserter debuffs, those are getting fixed. It looks like they haven't been completely fixed yet because I played a couple of games last night and the frames were all messed up, especially on the scoreboard. And we had 4 DPSers one time. It shouldn't have been a healer, so the DPSer got in, but then he was kicked. It was replaced by a healer. I don't know. It was something weird. But I'm sure that they're gonna be fixing that. Something that I don't think they know it's wrong though, that they should please fix, is that freaking acid. You have to remove that acid. Why? 2 reasons. The first one, you do not want to have anything in the arena map that can affect the outcome. That includes elevations and LOS. But the problem is that for certain classes you need those LOS and those elevations. So I'm gonna go ahead and say fine, keep those elevations, keep the maps the way they are, but you have to remove the acid. You don't want to have damage being done to people that's not from another player. That just doesn't make any sense. It's like having a soccer game and then you give one of the teams the opportunity to play with 2 balls instead of 1. That's just it. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see why anybody would want to add something like that. The problem with the arenas that they're trying to fix with the acid is that they can't last too long because some classes can stealth, or some compositions can overheal the other. Well, this is what I would do against that. I would first of all make the acid take away invisibility. That's it. Just don't do any damage, but make sure that the acid will take away invisibility. So if you get touched by the acid, you get a permanent debuff on you that will prevent you from becoming invisible. Now it won't do any damage. That's just it. No, it's just prevent you from becoming invisible so that you cannot troll the other compositions. So that's what I would do with the acid. And then the other reason why I wouldn't add the acid is because Bioware, come on, like seriously, you will not get this right. It baffles me that you would add more complicated structures to the mechanics when it's just the easy works. It's just the simple works. Look at WoW. WoW has one buff that you could take and it would make any stealther come back alive, but you had to take it so that they wouldn't be able to troll you. The other thing is that if there comes a point, extend the time limit of the arena. Make it 7 minutes. Make it 7 minutes. After 5 minutes, you put the acid, and then after that, you give us 2.5 minutes. In those 2.5 minutes, whoever does the most damage, or whoever whoever does the most damage, because we want to avoid catering to compositions with 2 healers, for example, that they don't do as much damage. Whoever does the most damage, they win the match. Screw it. That's how you're gonna screw the compositions that are stacking up on tanks that can do damage, or that are stacking up on heals that can do damage. You just let them, look, you got that composition, you won't be able to do enough damage if you make it to the acid, which is only going to take people out of invisibility. But if you cannot kill the team, once the acid comes out, you're gonna die because your composition is not optimal. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. I like this particular games. I'm thinking of taking other games and then commenting on them. I really like that idea. But let me know what you think about these changes. I really think that the developers should implement these. And anyways, I'll see you guys around, and hope you have fun at the PTS playing those arenas.